Just off the east bank of the Cumberland River and across the water from the Tennessee State Capitol building, there's a look at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete. It's Gordon. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. He gives it up. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's tight right there. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Being chased out left. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Get off the field.
On 1st down, it's Campbell. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down now, it's Campbell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he'll be close to a 1st down at the Chargers' 24.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point safely through, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. And he's got his man on the out route. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs them up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on third down.
He's checking. Crash. Shift. Watch the shift.
Back to throw. Going deep this time for Miller. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Chargers were best in the NFL, 7 of 8 on fourth down last year, and they're going here.
Single. Like 7.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. They will find Winslow. That's complete. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Young quarterback, gotta learn. Need to get rid of the football.
Because when you don't get rid of the ball, they accumulate more sacks. But you're exactly right. Internal clock has to go off. Either get rid of it or start to take off and go.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
7's a Mike 7.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. This time, Jackson will throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, Anthony Lynn says, let's go for 3. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call.
Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. He's at the 30. Touchdown Titans. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play. And facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and long. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that'll wind up complete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Now Jackson on 1st down. He finds his man Johnson. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd down. Here's Jackson. And this is caught at the 8. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. In for the score. And the Titans are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The Charger drive about to get going, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. 2nd and 13. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let this one go deep. And got his man complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
Let's go now. 39. Hey, defense. Hey, defense, let's go. 2-6.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On play action, they'll throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, he's looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Looking to throw. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler, Xavier Howard. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off around the 37. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They were trying to go to Brown once again, and it's third down.
Brings up 3rd and 17. Ready. 70 ending. Bravo. Watch the run. Hey, they're running it.
From the gun, Jackson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Draw play, Tomlinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Tomlinson. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Chargers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
On 3rd down, Tomlinson. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised him a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers, and this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Go. Hey.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Screenplay, Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
12 more yards there and another first down.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it up.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Check three. Squeeze.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. So that'll back them up 5.
Here we go.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Titans, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.